All right, thank you for flying with Vegas Balloon Flights. I hope.
Yeah, this should be a pretty motionless ride the whole time, unless you guys decide to dance around in here. It's not me, but if you guys do, you make your fellow passengers nervous and everything. So, you guys are all locals here?
Sunrise.
Is anybody that's not from here?
We're not.
We're not from here.
You're not from here either? You just happen to drive here though?
Flew in.
Flew in, but you drive a car? You broke a tire?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say I have a balloon festival that's occurring here October 25th, 26th, and 27th that I'm in charge of. And it's going to be right here at the hospital, and there'll be about 15 to 20 balloons. It's going to be a lot of fun. Which is it a house that you guys have, or something you know?
No, my relative.
What's the street name? Do you know?
Rosemary.
Yeah. Probably, I'm not sure if it's west or east. So the hospital loves us here because they get to have therapeutic balloons fly over their hospital all the time. The CEO actually is one of my students. He loves to learn. Now the crew doesn't make much money doing this at all. The crew actually does it for very little, but then most of them are learning to fly. So other than some tips and stuff, they get paid very little, but they love doing it. And if anybody of you guys here are locals, or if you want to come to Vegas, I will teach you for free because I learn for free, so I pay it forward. It's normally like $350 an hour to learn, but if you're willing to come out and crew for me, I teach you everything I know about ballooning, and I want more balloon pilots out there. Everybody asks me if I sell balloons, and I don't sell balloons, but I do kind of sell balloons. I want people to become pilots. So. First here, I won't have to burn quite so much in the future here, but just right now we can burn quite a bit. You don't realize it right now, but you guys are on the fastest elevator ride you guys have ever been on right now. We're going up at like 650 feet a minute right now.
Oh wow.
And there's no sensation of motion. You feel a little bit of us swaying still because of the crew guys were holding on at the end there, and that's us penduluming still, but other than that, there's no sensation of motion at all. You're feeling us go through the wind right now. He's actually going up at the same speed we are, so we're very close to it, so that doesn't feel like we're going up at all. Actually, it's kind of strange. But it's still 410 feet a minute right now. This is my go ahead, I'm sorry.
How can you direct the...
Only, I'm watching my GPS and it's telling me which way I'm going. Okay. That's my only direction that I know. But I watch it and then I find that wind later on, and that's how I steer. So there's no steering in a balloon. So it's kind of weird. People that are very type A go, wait, you don't have a steering wheel?
Yeah. How can you come back?
Yeah, we don't come back. We don't come back. So. Really lucky because I'm a Vegas local, born and raised here in Vegas, and I'm going to tell you all about what's around you and everything, all the cool things that just to point out. Real quickly over there, if you guys look directly east of us, which is toward the sun, you'll see the airport. They're actually launching right at us, but don't get nervous. They stay 2,000 feet above us, and the airport and I actually talk to each other. I got to turn my radio on actually.
That might be a good thing.
They tell me whether or not they want me to stay out of their space or whatever. And basically, if I don't go into their space, they won't go into my space, kind of a deal, you know?
So they can see you on radar?
Not very see us on radar, but they can see me, thank goodness, because I'm so huge, they can see me really easily.
Oh, okay.
There's not much of a radar footprint that we did. It's just these fuel tanks right here that we're pretty much giving you. Yeah, right now we're at our highest point. Believe it or not, we're at 4,000 feet right now. That's not above the ground. It's 4,000 feet above sea level, so we're about 1,500 feet above the ground. But this is as high as I can legally go here in Las Vegas right now because of the airport. If you look over that first set of mountains out there, though, you can see a little sliver of Lake Mead out there. And you can also see, this is Sunrise Mountain over there. It's officially, the big one is Frenchman's Mountain. The little one to the left of it is Sunrise officially. Everybody calls the big one Sunrise Mountain that lives here, though. And while we're here and we're not too far away from it, I'll point this out to you. If you guys see that golf course out there in the distance, the corner that is closest to us has a red roof and a bunch of yellow buildings. That's the Sultan of Brunei's house. Now the Sultan on the corner of this golf course that you see out there,
I
the
see
corner
it.
that's closest to us has a bunch of red roofs and yellow buildings there. That's the Sultan of Brunei's house.
Yeah.
Now he paid
house.
$80 million to build that place about 15 years ago. He's been there less than 2 weeks in those 15 years. Now,
Wow.
Michael Jackson actually lived there for about 2.5 years before he passed away and everything. This raised hill that you guys see here that has the fences kind of going down the hill out there. Andre Agassi has 3 houses in that neighborhood. He used to live there. Yeah, he doesn't live there any longer. His family lives there now. So that community where the Sultan lives is called Spanish Trails, and the one above it that Andre has houses,
Told you.
Spanish Hills.
Did you check us
A long time I
in?
have to learn more because we were started to cool down and we started coming down. We've actually come down as far as he is up. He's the highest point. That's how high we were a few moments ago. That's strange, huh? It's a cool place.
Oh, wow.
We were up there, yeah. Again, there's no sensation of motion, so you had no idea you're falling.
Yeah.
We're falling at 600 feet a minute, and you guys only probably sensation you had is your ears pop a little bit. And you go, oh, okay. We're falling. You know?
Water park.
I'm afraid of heights.
Water
It's
park.
not bothering me.
You know what? I am too. I can't stand on a building. It freaks me
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
But
like-
in a balloon, for some reason, I love it.
Like going up
So
at
you
the
can be a pilot.
stadium. I was,
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, it's not bothering me.
By the way, the best pilots in the world are women, and I hate to say that because I'm a guy, but
Really?
ladies are the best because they can multitask, and us guys like to do one thing at a time really well. You know? So, anyway, okay, well, put your guys' camera on movie mode if you guys have cameras that have movie mode. I don't know if you remember me explaining to you guys about the green line and the black line, but the green line opens a vent on the side of the balloon and we start to spin. And we're not going to spin fast, so don't be worried. It's not going to be like a, spinning out of control or anything. We just spin nice and slow. I'm going to point out some stuff to you why I'm added here. Down, if you look down here, is the new Wet and Wild that we have here in Vegas. So it's just opened this year. These mountains that you see that are just beyond that right there, these are all retired mines. They were active gold, silver, and lead mines over 100 years ago. They're no longer active. This little community that you see between the mountains where there's a little cutaway there, the greenery there, that's Blue Diamond. That's where I wish my dad had purchased land when I was growing up, because it was very inexpensive back then, and now it's very expensive because everybody wants to live out of town now and nobody wanted to live out of town then. So the mine that you see in front of it there, the white color mine, is actually a gypsum mine. It is where they make wallboard for our houses. I'm going to burn some more here and then we'll continue on. Look out this direction over there, you'll see a whole bunch of red rock mountains. Behind this first, these 2 mesas that you see in our foreground, that is a red rock conservation area. It goes all the way over to this mountain over here. Behind those mesas there, that's Red Rock Canyon Conservation. It's one of our best kept secrets. If you're not a local, definitely don't put all your money into the machines. Definitely go out there and check all that kind of stuff out. The mountain that you guys see in the distance out there, the very tall one, is actually Mount Charleston, and that's at 12,000 feet above sea level. And I was actually married at Mount Charleston, but not on the top. I was married at the hotel at the bottom of it, and 23 years ago, and I still love my wife. I'd marry her today again. range you guys see behind that there, behind the Red Mountains, is called the Spring Mountain Range, and that's where Mount Charleston is at. You can also see these little red rocks in the distance out there at the base of those mountains. That's in the future. That's owned by Summerlin, and in the future they may want to do like a Hollywood Hills kind of an idea with the housing up there is what they're saying. The hotel that you guys see out here in the distance is Red Rock Station Casino. That's the Wynn of local casinos, I'd say. It's basically the nicest local casino we have. I don't, if you guys work at a different casino, I don't want to offend you, I'm sorry, but I like that one. Now over there, the mountain that's all by itself is called, appropriately, Lone Mountain. And that's my most interesting landing spot I think I've ever landed. I actually landed on top of that mountain one day. It was perfectly calm. There were some hikers up there, and I said, hey, you want to ride? And they go, yeah. And I go, okay, sign here. They signed in, and then we took them down. And I was in the Remax balloon that day. And I used to fly the Remax balloon. And those two towers that you guys see out in the distance out there, that's the Queensridge Towers. That's our most expensive condominiums in all of Las Vegas. There's nothing less than $1 million in those towers either, so it's really expensive. Is called Boca Park. Boca Park is one of our nicest shopping areas in town. That's around those two towers there. You may, and you really can't see it yet here. We have to go up higher again. There's the Lakes community is in the foreground right before those two towers. If you guys look at this golf course over here, just out there in the distance, just beyond the power lines over there, that's Sienna. Sienna is a 55 or older community. But the beauty of it is only one person has to be 55. So if you're a cougar, you can bring home an 18-year-old if you want to.
Really young.
Yeah, and then over here you'll see some BG on these seats over here on the stadium. That's actually Bishop Gorman. That's our most expensive private school in town. From what I understand, it's $18,000 per year per student to attend there. And they actually have one of the best football teams in the nation. I'm convinced personally they could beat the UNLV football team if they ever played them. But UNLV is not stupid enough to play them because they get beat. So they were rated number 7 in the nation though. But they do a lot of recruiting from all over the world. And they don't like to say they do that, but they actually do. So they go, you're the best player in the world? Okay, come play for our high school, you know? Now these mountains over here again, we're coming toward these mountains over here. These are, again, these were retired mines. If you guys look out this direction, you'll see the first set of, see the trailings coming down, the red colored rock that's coming down. At the base of that first one that you see, there's a car there. People like to steal cars for some reason and drive them over that cliff. Because they're all at the base of those trailings. You'll see cars everywhere if we end up going that direction.
Why?
It's just a great place to steal cars because nobody ever recovers them. It's too expensive to recover them. So I'm gonna try coming down right now and see which way I go when I come near the mountains. If we need to go up high again, we'll go back up again. But I'm gonna go ahead and come down and see what it is. I usually don't want to go this way. I want to go that way. And so he's coming down low too, and I want to see what he's doing down there. You guys can see Wet n Wild just kind of below us over there on that side. Amazed at how smooth the balloon is. They expect this to be a really rocky ride and scary cool and everything, but it's
really nice.
Not like that at all. It only gets like that occasionally when we land. It's really scary sometimes. But I find that everybody that lands like that loves it. They always wish that I could, do it again. And I'm like, I don't want to do that again. That was scary. Some pretty interesting passengers over the years. Just probably about 6 months ago or so, I had some people in my basket that decided at the highest point, how high we were a few moments ago, they decided to walk out on the side of the basket and show me how cool they were, which really freaked me out because I'm scared of heights and I don't like them to do that, and I'm like, get back in the basket. They're going, we're so cool, we're from